Today we decided to make the drive over to the D-Day beaches here in Normandy. As I was driving here, I thought about it, and tomorrow's Memorial Day. What an epic place to really come visit during Memorial Day, US Memorial Day. And just being here at the D-Day beaches. And tomorrow I think I'm going to go to the American Memorial and the cemetery over there to have a look around. I've already been there once before, but it'll be interesting to go back and explore some more. And this evening we're taking a little stroll down a coastal trail, and it leads over to a small town. I'll put the town up here, I forget what it is, but it has old barges or old piers that go out into the water that were there during World War II. They couldn't bring the boats in, so they made basically a whole pier that went way out into the water, came back around, and they were able to dock ships out there, bring in all their cargo and everything into this town. So a lot of the things are actually still out in the water, and they had makeshift bridges going across. Pretty stunning stuff that they had going on, but you might be able to see it a little bit here, but we'll get there in just a minute. This little coastal trail is beautiful though. It is a dropped ledge, basically straight down to, not really a beach, but to the water. And just, the water's beautiful. There's nice farm fields, and the weather's perfect. Come on. So right here you can see there's a big loop basically of those concrete pillars, and I'm sure there was more, but then they had a metal bridge, makeshift bridge that would go between all of them, and the boats would pull in out here and they would drive everything back to the shore over there. As I'm walking this trail and just looking at the cliff edges all the way down through, I can see why this was such a difficult place to try to storm the beach, because there's not really many beaches. There are the beaches that we did arrive on and did take over, but so much of the coastline is just cliffs and not accessible at all. We have this nice little camp spot here. Judy is parked right over here. Coast is right there. Nice little hiking trail. It is a holiday here in France. They have a holiday tomorrow as well. Theirs is not Memorial Day. So it is a little bit more busy than I'm sure it usually is, but still nice peaceful spot. Well, today for Memorial Day, we are going to make our way down the hiking trail to some old bunkers and turrets. So let's hit the trail and go explore, see what's around. Unfortunately, this first bunker here behind me is closed. We can't get in because it's kind of falling apart and the cliff is falling away. But this one here is situated about 300 meters closer than all the ones back here behind me. This one here was the observation post. There's actually a lower floor where they would scope out to see any ships coming in the distance. And then there was a radio room where they would radio back to the ones back behind me, which we'll go to in a minute. But those were the ones that would actually fire any ammunition at the ships and all of that. But this one here is just strictly for observation and relaying information back to the others. These holes here were mortar bunkers, so they would put in mortar gunnery and they would have machine guns or anti-aircraft guns around here for protection. But I have a feeling the other bunker over there would relay to them and shoot it off. I'm not exactly sure what this bunker is for. There was no sign or anything, but there's 2 rooms back here. The whole thing's kind of flooded with water, so it makes it a little hard to explore, but you can kind of see. It's probably really dark. But this whole area is just filled with bunkers and all of that since it's right near Omaha Beach. These are the main bunkers here behind me. There is still 4 of them here, and these held the massive guns that would shoot shells that weighed about 100 pounds each, and it could fire them up to 12 miles away. So being here along the coast, it could definitely hit something way out there, especially with the other bunker up towards the one that we visited earlier. That one, giving them the coordinates and everything, these would cause some major damage. The walls on these bunkers are almost 7 feet thick. So even causing damage to these would be really difficult, just dropping bombs on them, but man, kind of nuts. Really interesting being able to go and see these types of places and see some of this history. Growing up, I was never a fan of history. I hated learning it in school, but when you can experience it firsthand and come see these types of things, boy, it really brings it alive. And as you know, I'm walking down this trail that is right along the coast. I can only try to imagine what the madness was like out in the water and on the beach and all through here. The noises, like the sounds of all the gunfire and the bombs and everything, it just, oh my gosh, you can't even really fathom what it would be like. I look at all the pictures and the little videos that they have at these different memorials, and it kind of gives you an idea, and you try to look out here, but to be there in that moment had to be insane.
Some of the landing barges are stopped by concrete obstacles built far out in the water by the enemy.
The other thing to try to think about is putting yourself in someone's shoes that was on one of the landing boats coming up to the beaches. Oh my gosh. That would be the most terrifying thing ever. I mean, just the complete madness and the unknown of what is going to happen, and you are rushing a beach of a foreign country. Wow.
Surreal.
As you can see here behind me, we are now in the cemetery. There is 9,389 headstones here, and I know that number sounds big, but when you see it in person and the amount of headstones, it is unbelievable. I mean, it just goes forever. And the way they did these, they are perfectly aligned straight and on an angle and straight the other direction. And so everywhere you walk, it looks crazy. But the amount of headstones here and the amount of people buried here is mind-blowing. The first part that we went to was the memorial for the missing, and I believe there's right around 1,500 names across the wall for the missing people along there, and these are all just Americans. There are memorials all the way down through along the coast for the Canadians and the British and all of that. It's kind of a surreal feeling walking through all of these headstones, and when you really think about what happened and all of these people that sacrificed their lives, like, what would the world be like if this did not happen? I mean, it would be a completely different place, that's for sure. As you're walking through here, most of the 9,000 plus headstones are crosses, but there are 153 Star of Davids. After the cemetery, we are now working our way down towards Omaha Beach. So we're gonna walk down and see, I think there's a couple memorials down here. We'll have a look. Out of all of the beaches that were stormed during D-Day, Omaha had the most deaths in this part here. There was over 3,000 Americans that died on this beach trying to take it over. Looking at the beach behind me here, can you just imagine the chaos going on during that day? This entire beach just filled with insanity. Wow. Imagine when your boat lands and this is what you're looking at. You have to make it up that hill, and there's bunkers hidden all through there where you can barely even see them, even when you're on top of them. And that would be what you're facing. So you can see how well hidden that bunker is, and the viewpoint out here. Man, how do you even hit something like that coming from the beach? Jeez. I was reading one of the plaques up further, and it said that there were 31 Germans here in these little places, and they held off the Americans for like 3 hours, just having 31 of them in these tiny little bunkers. And 2 of them actually escaped. I think all the rest didn't make it. I hope you enjoyed coming along for a little Memorial Day tour of the D-Day beaches, the area around here, and the cemetery. I know it's kind of for me, being here kind of feels surreal and just, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it, but definitely an experience to be able to explore these, and I'm happy I get to share them with all of you. So really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified for next time. And until next time, we'll see you somewhere in France. So stay tuned. Let's go hit this. No, that's horrible.